financial literacy from different sources affect students' financial well-being. I'm Ms. Carl.
I'm Michaela.
I'm Skylar.
I'm Emily.
And I'm Ella. The outstanding federal student loan balance right now is at $1.693 trillion with 42.7 million student borrowers. And each borrower has an average of $38,375 in federal student loans and $41.5 in overall student loans, including private ones. But according to the TIA Institute, only 35% of college students can answer 4 out of 5 basic financial literacy questions correctly. This is extremely important because the financial habits, both positive and negative, that form during the transition to adulthood are likely to persist throughout adulthood. This research paper investigates the sources of learning financial literacy and which source of knowledge has a more positive effect on the well-being of college students. This study uses students from Northern Michigan University, located on the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. This study can help universities understand if they are providing ample resources to promote financial literacy and future financial well-being of their students. It can guide universities to understand the gaps in their students' knowledge when they go to other sources and how to improve future financial literacy.
Alright, so the research question will focus on different financial literacy sources and how that affects students' financial decisions, well-being, knowledge, and their overall stability. And on top of that, the data will help us understand the gap between students and their financial literacy.
So starting out with our literacy review, there are a couple different sources of financial literacy, but overall, financial literacy is going to be your ability to make informed decisions about your money on topics such as savings, retirement planning, investing, even just spending and earning money from your different sources of income. This is important because it's going to help students obtain their goals to better help understand their own financial topics in the future. And while this is, we all know it's important to be able to handle our money, right? It's a pretty basic topic. But over 88% of students felt unprepared financially after graduation. One of the main sources of financial knowledge is going to be your high school financial literacy courses. It is one of the most research sources as well, so that's a lot of information that we've been able to find in our literacy review was on high school financial literacy. The effects of financial well-being when being taught in high school, they're detectable after graduation as has been stated. But while there's been abundant research conducted on the benefits of financial education in high school, only 17% of U.S. adults stated that they took a financial class. The second most common financial source is going to be your college financial courses. Two of the most common situations that students get themselves into in college is going to be your student loans, right, and then starting to get your first credit card or two. And it's pretty essential to learning how to effectively manage this in order to thrive in your future. 17 out of 50 states require personal finance courses to graduate, even though everybody deals with finances. It's not just, business majors or accountants, but only 17 out of 50 states require students to graduate with that sort of knowledge. And then overall, 70% of college graduates feel financially stressed after graduating, showing that, maybe we aren't learning enough about how to handle our finances while in school. And so, right, like I said, the college classes and your high school classes have been the most researched to show the effects on how learning about your finances can help you in your future. But we think that what would be most influential is going to be your family, friends, books that you're reading, maybe podcasts that you're watching, but there is little to no research done on how these sources are actually affecting your financial literacy in the future. This is when kids are learning the foundation of their knowledge from their environments growing up, right? They're taking everything in, you're learning things such as habits and opinions, but you're also observing how your family's going to handle their money and how their friends do. And there's just not a lot of research done overall on how this is going to affect them in their future. So we have a big opportunity to tap into some unseen sections of financial literacy.
So why is this really important to study or research? So there's a lot of different sources and it can really impact students' well-being. And students' attitude towards financial literacy and their finances is also a big aspect. And the amount of financial literacy that they have and where they learned it from can really affect their attitude. It can also grow an understanding and awareness about if you learn it from high school, if you learn it from your parents, if you learn it from college, how it impacts you as a person. And with the awareness of the impact, people can kind of find out where it's most important to learn that financial literacy from. This research will also contribute to the existing knowledge, and we'll also look at past knowledge to kind of form our research.
Alright, so in order to answer our question, we'll begin by using and analyzing secondary data research from different sources. For direct sources, we will be using case studies and academic studies as well. This will provide us with a lot of easily accessible information and give us that broader understanding. For direct questions, we will have made a survey and that will delve deeper into where and how students are gaining their financial education. And then our hypotheses, so financial courses in school as the main source of financial literacy have the least positive impact on financial literacy, so we can test this hypothesis by asking survey questions about different sources and which ones have the most confidence in their financial understanding. And then attitudes towards financial literacy has a more substantial impact on financial literacy than financial education. So this one we could ask questions about their attitudes towards financial literacy. And then family and peers create a more positive impact on attitude towards financial literacy, so we could ask questions about different influences and who has helped people the most. Okay, then our survey is going to identify where students acquire financial knowledge and understanding. We also aim to identify how these sources are influencing their understandings. Our survey is going to spotlight on opportunities to improve financial education for students.
So our survey objective is just identifying where students are learning financial literacy and how that's gonna affect their overall understanding of financial literacy.
So this is going to be our survey method. This is a video of our survey and how someone kind of go through it. So we're going to use multiple choice, short answer, and Likert skill questions. It's going to be distributed over email and social media. And to incentivize, we'll be offering a $25 Amazon gift card by students entering their email at the end, which you'll kind of see as we kind of go through these questions. So we have some like demographic questions and then some more that go into financial literacy, where you learned it from, and your financial attitude. So let's continue watching through this video of how the survey would look and how long it might take someone to take it.
Adding on to that, our survey is split up into different sections. So they're split up between where you're getting your knowledge from and how confident you're in it, then split up into just like the basic demographic questions at the end.
So for our task breakdown, week 1 we're gonna design a survey and we're gonna pilot that test to 10 different students with different financial situations for week 2, and then we're gonna collect that data and then analyze and see what we need to fix and change before we then distribute that to 300 participants via email and social media during week 4. And then for week 5 we're gonna collect and analyze those survey results and then also follow up with non-respondents. And then at the end, for week 6, we're gonna analyze the data and create a report.
So for our sample plan, our target population, we're going to choose current undergrad and graduate students in Northern Michigan. It's roughly going to range from about 18 to 27 depending on what grade level that you're in. Because everybody has different opinions and like personal interests, our psychographic variables are going to be pretty varied. They can be in any major field of study, be in any grade like I said, and live on or off campus. Moving into our sampling method, we're going to be using probability simple random sampling from the NMU Student Campus Directory mainly. This will be on the convenient, we're also going to be incorporating this with convenient sampling by sharing our links through our different social media platforms such as like Snapchat or Instagram stories. And then we're planning on at least sending it to 30 students via email to account for a 50% response rate, which is hopefully going to be 150 students, which is also allowing us to go through the results in the limited time frame that we have.
Rather than going through the sampling process outline, first you have to obtain a list of potential participants from the NMU directory, just to grab their emails. And then we're gonna send invitations to 300 individuals to account for a 50% response rate. However, we will follow up with non-respondents to increase participation if we get a response rate below 25%. But again, we have that Amazon gift card to hopefully incentivize people to respond. Then we will post a QR code or link on our social media platforms to get more responses. And the survey will rely on random sampling and opinion sampling from NMU. And we need to reduce bias, so this survey has been formatted to be understood easily and without leading words to avoid influencing participants' answers. Additionally, there will be a statement in the introduction telling students to be as truthful as possible when answering.
Thank you, and I